have asked me to take them under their wing. They're under my wing quietly, unobtrusively, no shenanigans. And yet sometimes I'm like, oh, okay, I gotta go. And so it's always amusing to me where I think I have to go, because I don't need to go anywhere. I've got the groceries, I've got the stuff. But all of a sudden I'm like, no, I got to go to this one store to get, I think that was my journey for some more lemons, more organic lemons for my detox process. So so the checkout lines were long, everything was long. And I'm thinking, that's okay, I'm cool. And so I kind of moseying around thinking I'm really cool, not paying any attention to anything other than I'm cool. And then, there it is, the checkout counter that has just two little people in front of me with not much stuff. So I get right there. But I'm watching this gal at the register. She's magnificent. She's a woman of color, which I'm thinking to myself, oh, I wish she could see her colors, because I was sure she could not. Because her chest was caved in, her shoulders were sunk, and there was that dreadful, sorrowful air of resignation. So I stood happily where I was supposed to be, reminding this beautiful woman to hold on to her dreams. That's all I kept hearing. Hold on to your dreams. Hold on to your dreams. So finally, it's my turn. And of course, because she's so resigned, these positions in these stores are unconscionable. They rob your soul, your spirit, your energy. I can't for the life of me understand why can't you have a little stool? You're not going to fall asleep at the job, and you'll get up when you have to. So I have nothing but great respect for these people that man these horrific positions where people, one after another, are indifferent, rude, obnoxious, careless, not interested. To me, it's a downright assassination of the spirit. So I'm happy Susie Sunshine here, reminding her mentally, hold on to your dream. So my first object was to be gracious to her and ask her, how are you this evening? She was so deadened by everything that had happened, it wasn't penetrating. So I gently looked at her, carefully penetrating her vision. No, really, how are you this evening? And finally, she kind of snapped to a little bit, and with intensity, I bored into her spirit and simply said, you must hold on to your dream. And she was almost unconscious. And I repeated it again. No, you must hold on to your dream. And she said, as she's coming conscious, but it's very difficult. I have to support myself. I'm the only one that supports me. And I said, I know. I stand in your shoes. I understand. Hold on to your dream. And by that third time, she looked at me. The veil dropped, her protective veil dropped, and with complete trust, she said to me, do you know my dream? And I said, with complete knowingness, that Elaine Bartlett doesn't know her dream, but my presence knows her dream. With complete trust back to her, I said, I do know your dream, and you must hold on to it. All of a sudden, her sunken chest, it's like I took a bellows to her lungs. It just puffed out a little bit, and her shoulders squared away. And that's why I had to go get some lemons. You gotta understand, this is a service organization here. Step out of yourself. Every breath you take is an opportunity to serve. You might not be paid for it. I'll never see her again. But it's huge. Because this beautiful woman who thinks she's a black woman was more able now to step into the truth of her. She and I, we are women of color. Maybe her color is now a little bit more orange or blue or whatever her color is. It can shine. I knew my color was shining more after it. And that's just a simple, humble exchange of me getting out of my way. I was tired that night. I didn't have to extend anything to her. I could have remained self-absorbed, in as much of a rush as the next person, and as dismissive. This whole business of dismissiveness, it has gotten to such a frightening level that I can only tell you, it stops with you and me. We're the only ones that are going to stop it. Who are we dismissing? And who the heck do we think we are to be so arrogantly dismissive? You're looking at God in drag, who, yes, maybe temporarily they've not only forgotten it, it's been beaten out of them. On my darkest moments, I forget it. And I sure want somebody to remind me that my color is twinkling and it is bright. So, I don't know. Lose your grip and get a new grip. That's all I can tell you. Oh, there's something very, very important happening tonight. It is, again, it's free, Free. I don't know what time it starts, but it is the repeat of the 7-part series, The Sacred Plant. Now, I actually spoke of it a time or two ago, probably alluded to it last time. And today, oh, what the heck, I'm going to be a whole lot braver about the dang sacred plant because I have shared it with a few people under the radar, very quietly, very clandestinely, thinking, oh, geez, I surely don't want to get in any danger because of it. The heck with it. You deserve to know that there are plants on the planet that can help you if you are good and sick, meaning if you're very sick. So the sacred plant happens to be the marijuana plant, and you and I need to learn about it. As I have begun to put down my fear about it, because, oh my God, did I buy that Kool-Aid that's been circulating for as long as I could remember, that this would screw up my entire life and make me sick, and I'd probably kill myself. Yeah, not so fast. Education, information will show you if you are sick. Now remember, every plant, everything can be violated. One cupcake could be your saving grace. If you eat 5 dozen, you're going to be good and sick, all right? So discernment, discretion, but you need to learn about it. We've been terrified that there's something very wrong with it, and yes, indeed, the quote potheads have given it a very bad name because they've misused it oftentimes. But I'll tell you what, when it's used in its sacredness for healing, a friend of mine who chose to go the sacred plant way earlier this year, she was diagnosed with cancer of the lymph nodes, lungs, pancreas, you name it. She stem to stern, okay? And her attitude was, I need to learn. She didn't know a dang thing about it, but she did look to me for validation. What did I think? Well, at the time when I validated it, quite frankly, I knew nothing. Talk about going out on a limb. I knew nothing, except that I knew that Western medicine did not contribute to the longevity of my own sister on the planet. So I knew what didn't work. So I said, you got nothing to lose. Okay, so the PET scan, the most recent PET scan, 3 of the tumors have disappeared. 1 or 2 has shrunk, and a couple of more did surface. However, she's not ill. She feels wonderful, and she's only had about 8 weeks of the treatment. She's going to have more treatment. I don't know how this thing works. The only thing I know is it's a sacred plant that you and I have been misinformed about. And because of that, there's all sorts of fear about it. And because of that, you tend to turn to toxic, poisonous drugs. You need an education. If you want to listen to this series tonight, I suggest you Google the sacred plant. If you cannot find it, because they've sent me, because I've seen it already once, they've sent me now access to it again. If you can't find it and you want to get to it, you need to email me today. And when oh, geez, dang, I don't have a computer. Oh, isn't that interesting? Oh, that's really kind of cosmically twisted. I don't know how to get it to you then. Somebody will, and you need to find the information to begin to help yourself and to begin to see true life stories and why this has been demonized. Why? What's in it for the pharmaceutical companies that they feel they have to demonize it? And I can tell you this, a whole lot's in it. So I didn't want to get this education, but I am oh so happy that I did, because now with this smattering of information that I put down my fear and allowed myself to get, at least a half a dozen people have been assisted and will at least look differently. And yes, blend it with Western medicine. There's no problem with blending. It's kind of like this vax stuff that some of you were so twitted about that you wouldn't even get the information. I think that makes me more angry than anything, that you won't buck up and get the information. I mean, really? You don't have to follow it, but to blindly be following stuff because you've been told? That doesn't work anymore. There's too much light on the planet, for heaven's sake. So with the vax thing, it's not saying don't ever have a vaccination. And that's why people wouldn't honor the videos and just watch it. It was saying, here's what we've seen. If you space it out, your child, especially your boy child, may not suffer from autism. Space it out. Is that so heretical? I mean, really? So when you see, if you open yourself to learn about this plant, I'll tell you what, I who do not have a green thumb at all, thought, geez, I think I have to develop a green thumb and figure out how to cultivate this stuff because it should be in my green smoothies every day. Why would I say that? Because now I have learned it would prevent Alzheimer's. It would prevent Parkinson's. My beloved brother has Parkinson's. It enhances a lot of stuff. So you may want to check it out. I'm so sorry, my computer is in sick bay, but that's how the cookie crumbles, I guess. It's interesting, too. Of course, this particular series points out a very, very disturbing fact in the United States. And the fact is, if you live in some certain zip codes, you can have access to this without going to jail. If you live in another zip code, not only can you not have access to it, you'll die.